Hey, I'm Kelly Parks of Comwaters Cloud Accounting, and I am super excited about the new client features in Financial Sense. One of the things that drew me to Financial Sense in the first place was how robust the client features already were, and they just got robuster. Yes, that's a word. I want to talk about a couple of quick things, though. First off, it's change management. So big changes happened yesterday, and instead of going off and doing the things that I was supposed to be doing this morning, I came and played around in here because I'm super excited about these changes and I've been waiting a while for them to happen. But change is hard. Not changing will be harder. And so with these new rollout features, I noticed something that may cause, I don't know, alarms, a bit of an alarming word, but you know what I mean. I do want to say, remind everybody that one of the features that Financial Sense already had was if you make a change to a recurring template, you now can push these changes out to future recurrences. So anything that you do here, you have the option now of moving forward. That is super cool, especially when we have a big change rollout like we have now. So when I came in here, and I'm going to tell you another story. So I love Typeform, like I love Typeform. And Typeform made some big changes last year, and Kelly did not pay attention when they said that they were going to make the changes, and then I got caught off guard. And so they made a change to the way that notifications rolled out, and they were much better. But it disrupted a system I have because I based some zaps on a Typeform being completed and an email going out, a notification to me going out telling me that the form had been completed. So first, I didn't know that things were being completed. And secondly, it didn't start the ball rolling in other apps. Well, Financial Sense was one of them. So if somebody ordered a file review for me, it didn't kick off a file review project in Financial Sense because Typeform changed the way it was sending things. That was on me. Change is hard, but the new changes were wonderful. So once I realized that I had let that slide, I went in, I fixed it, and everything's rolling along great. Same thing today. Not that it's going to break anything, but I want to show you how it's not going to break. So when I came in here today, I noticed that the client tasks are gone. Client chat is now unified. I don't have a chat in here to show you, but Sharon's got some videos on this, Financial Sense. And client chat is super robust. So now you're going to be able to chat universally in a project in the client with topics. Super cool. But what happened was they moved the client task list out of there so that it could go in order. Ignore that this is here for now because this is one of the fixes I did to make it super quick to embrace these new changes. What happens is when you go in, you're going to see that the client tasks are now at the bottom. So if you think they're gone, they're not. They're at the bottom. And then I'm like, oh, okay. I don't want them at the bottom. So the very first thing I can do is I can just grab them and I can move them right up to the top. So when they are at the top, it now has the same feeling that it had yesterday. So instead of the client task being here, they're right here. But the big changes now are you can assign these to various people. And so I can take these tasks off of Jeff, off of me, and just send it to somebody. I can send now, I can send, and I can do dependencies, which is brand new and amazing. And so we can still do some of the things we always did in here, plus more. And also there are new tasks that you can add. You can actually put categorized transactions right in here as well. So all the usual things, but they have become more robust. But now I'm like super excited, but I don't have time to make these changes right now. So you can either leave them at the bottom and just know that they're there, or you can move them to the top and now it feels like it did yesterday. But what you also can do, so in theory now, I create the content and then this would normally be assigned to Maddie. That's my admin. And by the way, I want you to notice two things. We are doing our admin work in Financial Sense now. And so I do content creation for app partners. This is one of the app partner campaign workflows. And now, and then normally all of this would then be assigned to Maddie. And then I would get a notification up in the top right that it had been done. And so you can either have email notifications. What Maddie and I do is we actually create a home screen button on our iPhones. You can do it on Android, Google it. We create a home screen button. I've taught my clients to do this as well. Create a home screen button, reduce the friction to accessing Financial Sense mobile, and then you just need to push the button and it acts just like an app. Then it opens up automatically and you can see your notifications. So that's what we've done so that we're communicating seamlessly without having it go into our email. We are in the process of moving everything out of Slack. So we created clients that mimicked our Slack channels. So fall social campaign. I do work for Insightful Accountant. So we created a client, Insightful Accountant, and the work we're doing in there. We created a client. Maddie does I create the content for my blogs. And then once I create the content, it notifies her, and it's working beautifully in here. It notifies her that content is created, and then she goes on to her next steps, and then I approve the blog, and on we go. Before, we had them in a spreadsheet that was linked to the various Google documents and all of the things that we were doing, and then I would let her know in Slack that something had happened. This has unified this into where I am already living, so we are moving everything over. And clients basically represent Slack channels, which represented a vertical of work for Maddie and I. That's a total segue, but I just wanted to let you know since we're actually looking at this. Okay, so app partners, doing content for them. What I really want now is I'm going to create the content, and then the app partner is going to approve the content. So I need to change my workflow so that this becomes one task. Then this fits in the middle of it, and then the rest of the tasks come after the client has approved it. Now we can have dependencies, we can have notifications, and it's going to be totally seamless, except I'm not doing this week. This week, I'm actually going to send Maddie this video, and she's going to recreate this workflow for us where the client tasks are right after I create the content, because we can't do this without the app partner approving it. So that's going to go in there, but not now. And so I played around with it to see how I could still deploy it. So for now, all I did was so here's what's fun. And you may not know. Right here, these 3 magic buttons, you can do quite a bit of things in here that you may not notice. And one of them is duplicate the section. So all I did was super quick duplicate this section 5 times and then took out, I simply deleted what I didn't need from that client task. So this allowed me to make a few fun tweaks to it. I'll probably do it with a client that has 3 users that do things, because now I can assign things individually. So we're going to change their workflow first so that I'm assigning to who I actually want to do the work, as opposed to right now sending it out to everybody. We can add dependencies. I think I already said that at the beginning. So anyways, when an app partner makes a change, you don't have to deploy all of the changes. You can keep it simple for yourself and kind of keep doing what you're doing. And then when you're ready, you can start to deploy these changes. So don't say, oh, now I got to change everything. You actually don't have to change anything, because the client tasks are just down at the bottom. You can leave them there. Visually, if you're like me, you want to see things, you can move them to the top, and then you can duplicate them and start to take things out. And then eventually, when you're ready, you can start to change how the whole workflow works itself. But in the meantime, this is super fun. And don't forget that you can also, where was I going with that? I forget things. You can, and I already said this, you can push to future recurrences. So every little tweak you make here is going to show up next month, if you want, next week, whenever, next quarter, whenever it is. So I'm Kelly Parks of Comwater's Cloud Accounting. Change is hard. Not changing will be harder, but this is a simple way to get through some of the changes we've got right now going on.